ma'am.
And you've been incarcerated a little over 8 years, is that correct?
I've been DOC 8 years, but I've been locked up 10 years.
Okay, you were in a parish facility before you came to DOC?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, these charges involve your 11-year-old stepdaughter and your 13-year-old niece.
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Both of them allege that you did inappropriate things to them. You've taken sex offender treatment, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Phases 1, 2, and 3, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Done phase 4?
We was told that the fourth one is if you want to be a facilitator.
Mhm.
To my knowledge.
You declined to do 4?
No, he said that was as far as we had to go unless we wanted to facilitate. That's what I was told.
Why didn't you want to facilitate?
Um, I don't know.
Well, tell me, what did you learn about yourself in sex offender treatment to help you understand why you would take advantage of little girls that way? Tell us something that you learned about yourself in sex offender treatment.
Well, for as mean doing things like that, I really don't know why. But what I learned from the class is the look for signs that might turn me on in a certain way, or to look for triggers or something that might set me off or make me feel a certain way about something, and how to acknowledge it and know it and try to move on and put myself in a different situation or remove myself.
Do you have you done any kind of victim awareness?
Uh, no, I'm on backlog for that.
Okay. But I'm sure in the sex offender program, they had to have talked about the impact of a sex offense on a victim, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you learn about that?
The impact of what it would do to a person or put them through. It could, I guess, I like say, destabilize a person or physically embarrass them, make them feel a certain way about themselves. Unwanted, looked down upon, frowned upon, or something like that. So,
Well, okay. Both these victims were young. You know, one 11 when it started, the other one was 13. Um, and they were people that you knew. One was your stepdaughter,
yes, ma'am.
and then the other one was your niece. So these are people that, you know, you had a relationship with. They probably looked up to you as an authority figure. What do you think made you do this?
Um, I honestly don't know. But it's probably could what I've learned was in as far as when it comes to addictions, um, I suffer from alcoholism, and I didn't even realize I had done these things till it was brought to me.
Okay,
I was waking out of my sleep.
Okay, okay. Wait just a minute, Mr. I was hoping you wouldn't say that because it wasn't a one-time incident with your stepdaughter. This was an ongoing situation. and nobody's ever so drunk that you can't remember going into a child's room, pulling down her pajamas and touching her inappropriately and doing it on several different occasions. Now that's, you know, you may have had a problem, but that didn't prevent you from being aware of what you were doing or remembering what you.
I can't, I honestly, I had no clue. That's the God's honest truth.
I had no clue. I'm
I,
struggling.
okay, when my stepdaughter accused me, my wife awoke me that night in the morning, sometime that day, that morning, and questioned me, and did not even know this.
You
And
didn't
when
know. What
my
didn't you know?
niece,
What didn't you know when your wife awoke you?
I
What
did not
didn't
know I had went in that room and touched my stepdaughter. And my niece came forward. I didn't even know this. I learned this in the court as the DA read it. And I don't even understand why my niece let it go that far. She came back and lived with me, let me name her first child. I had no idea I had done these things. I can't even understand why she would even go as far as to live with me. Honestly, I wish she had came forward, so I probably could have got help before now.
know? It's her fault. It's
No,
her
I
fault.
can't blame her. No, I can't blame her. I just fail to understand why she let this go on and I didn't even know it. She should have
Well,
told my mother or somebody on me.
she said she never told anyone about the
I
incident.
have no idea.
Stop talking. She said she never told anybody about the incident. However, when she heard that other family members were talking about your stepdaughter making up the incident that you did to her, she knew she had to come forward and report what happened to her because the family was accusing the stepdaughter of telling lies. And she said that if she didn't come forward and tell what had happened, they would keep accusing the other girl of lying and that you would probably end up hurting more children. So, Mr. Ron, I do see that you've taken sex offender treatment, but I don't know that it's been enough so far. I don't hear acceptance of responsibility for your actions. You know, when you say, well, I don't remember doing it, that's not accepting responsibility for your actions. That's kind of trying to cover up your actions. And I do understand that you had a drinking problem. However, I don't think that is the reason why um, I believe that you do remember these incidences. You've only had one write-up, and that was in 2014. That was for aggravated disobedience. What was that about?
I had just come to the compound and something was wrong. I signed up for sick call and I didn't understand how sick call worked and I missed it. And next thing I knew, I was receiving a write-up. I didn't even understand how it worked.
You're a second offender. Your prior conviction was a felony domestic abuse battery. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You were placed on 3 years of probation and you completed that satisfactorily. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Warren, what can you tell us about Mr. Round?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Jackson. I mean, the felony, we talked about the domestic abuse prior to this conviction, and, you know, we discussed his problem with alcohol even then. That was a big root of that. So I think he has a very, very severe problem with alcohol, and he's gonna need some long-term substance abuse treatment for that. I do recommend that he completes our victim awareness program. I think that'll be a lot of help to him and maybe help him understand some of the things you were pointing out to him earlier.
Thank you. That's all I have to say.
All right, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
You speaking to me?
Yeah, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, I'm responsible for everything. I just want them to understand that I know it sounds like a cover up, but I honestly did not know this. I really didn't. When my niece came forward, I did not ever know in my entire life that I had touched her. That's the God's truth. I can't explain it. I never knew that. It kills me to know. I don't even understand how could she let me name her first child, my niece. Why would you do that if I touch you? I accept that. She wouldn't have no reason to lie on me. I just didn't know it.
All right.
I know how it would sound. I was scared to even say it because I know exactly what it sounds like.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. That was fair to vote, Ms. Jackson.
All right. All right, Ms. Brown, you do have some positive things. You've gotten, you enrolled in the New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary in 2016. You completed 3 phases of sex offender treatment. I see that you attended NA and AA up until 2017. In 2018, you did Living in Balance 1 and 2, but you still need some more programs. You need some more substance abuse treatment. If what you're saying is true and you're so intoxicated that you don't even remember committing these crimes, that indicates alcohol is a real serious problem for you. You need to take victim awareness. There's just some more work that you need to do. And so my vote today is going to be to deny, but I'm going to encourage you, the warden listed some programs that he thinks that you need to take. And I would strongly encourage you to do that. I would also encourage you to go ahead and do that phase 4 of sex offender treatment and facilitating. But sometimes when you facilitate, you still learn, you still get something out of it, and maybe you start to see some things that you don't see right now. But my vote today is to deny, but encourage you to take more programming and then apply again when you're eligible.
Brandon?
Ma'am.
I concur with Ms. Jackson. My vote is to deny.
He votes to deny. I'm also going to vote to deny as well. You need to keep working on yourself, trying to get better, working on that remembering. There's a lot of remembering you're not doing. Try to work on some remembering. So got 3 votes to deny. Today your parole's been denied. Good luck to you. And it's 1:23. We will adjourn, Warden Meyer. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh man, Brendan Kelsey, I really appreciate. You got to work on remembering. That was that's. Oh man, I initially posted this hearing, I think November of 2022, and I was looking over I'm doing housekeeping. So I'm looking over hearings that I had it unlisted because I realized I didn't comment on it. It's possible you've seen this, November 2nd, 2022, but I never commented on it, so I'm redoing it now. And seeing hearings all these months later, after it's like it's just monsters exist. I mean, this man, as we call on the channel, this chomo, cockroaches. To think that he's going to be set free. Now, sadly, as you saw, I don't have the beginning of the hearing. I missed the DOC number. I missed his name. I missed his, all those details. 11-year-old stepdaughter and 13-year-old niece. And he's stating in all seriousness, I can't remember a thing. I didn't remember anything. And you know what? And and the parole board's like, he needs more substance abuse help. And it's like, I y- alcohol doesn't make you do that. You know, we can drink till we black out, but unless we're monsters. And he, even in his defense, even now after he's sitting in prison all this time, he's still victim blaming. He's still saying, I don't know why she didn't tell other people. If she did, this would never have happened. If I did this, why would she let me name her son? It's her fault. If I did it to her, she should have told someone. No, sir. On the contrary, she was brave as when she saw that the stepdaughter, your stepdaughter, was accusing you and you were denying it. Then she had the courage. She at that point said, no, enough is enough. And she took her guilt and she took her shame and she took everything that comes with it. Yes, even you naming her first son. And she put that all behind her so that now at that point she had to do it. She couldn't do it for herself, but she went and did it for her, for this other little girl. And she put you in prison. You probably don't like that very much, do you? Cockroach. People who just that can imagine the betrayal, whether it was his brother or his sister's child who he did that to. For someone to go in their home with their wife and leave the bedroom and crawl into the bed of a little girl, of your stepdaughter. You can't fathom that. It's not fathomable. It's not something that a healthy, normal brain can understand. But this thing has probably been doing it all its life. And I bet you he's got a tiny little sentence, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. And he'll be out soon. And that's the sick part about it, because who's going to keep our children safe when he gets out? But our system's broken. We did a hearing the other day. I didn't publish it yet, but by now maybe it will be. At 19 years old, a kid got 16-year sentence because he stole candy. The judge gave him 16 years. He was 19. He broke into a closed concession stand and took candy. You wouldn't believe it unless you saw it, and that's why we do this. that, I'll let you go.